Hey guys, Father Time here at Paine Field in Everett, Washington. We're looking at the VC-25 Bravo, which is a Boeing 747-8I converted for military use to be delivered to the United States Air Force in 2027. 2 copies of this, which will be used as Air Force One, which is the plane for the President of the United States. Right now, I believe we use the VC-25 Alpha, which is 747-200 converted for military configuration. So 2 of these come into the Air Force in 2027. I'm flying this airplane for 2 reasons. I'm flying it in the simulator. I've never flown it in real life, flown every other Boeing, but because it's coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator as a part of the standard pack, the 747-8I, for this and the freighter. So it'll be good for creator content. Also, I'm begging PMDG to be on their test team for the 747-8 to be released hopefully soon, and I want to be ready to fly that when it comes out since they make such a great product. But anyway, I'm doing that just to make myself familiar. I've first made 2 videos for my first 2 flights. It's got a lot of similarities to the 777. So therefore, since I have a couple thousand hours on that, I retired a year ago from American Airlines. The crossover, there was a lot of commonality. Let me get us going here. I'm going to put us at the gate at Paine Field in Everett, Washington. All right, it's Paine Field. Take a look at this scenery pack, guys. That's the this is the Freaky D scenery pack. Freaky D over on flightsim.to. You can go pick this up for free. He's a Boeing engineer. He actually works right in this building right here and has for more than 2 decades with Boeing. He's a great flight simmer, a good friend of mine. I've met him through the TFDi program, or before that, but TFDi MD-11 program. We were both flight testers there on the quality assurance team. Still are. But anyway, here we are. I'm going to give you a little tour of his field now. Okay, here we are. Cold, dark airplane. We're going to simulate flying the VC-25 Bravo around the pattern a couple of times. Do an ILS to a go-around and a VNAV, a RNAV approach. Non-ILS approach. That's where they make the wings on the 777. Freaky D, leave in the comments, buddy, any corrections you have here. And Captain Al over at Subsonic Flight Training, who's an instructor on this airplane and the 747-400 and -8. Leave your comments, please. Guys, if you read down there, a couple of experts. Captain Al is actually, as I mentioned, an instructor on this plane. But here we are. This is where it all happens. Those are the paint hangers over there. And you can see every kind of Boeing. You can spend a little time flying around there, have some fun. This is in Everett, Washington, part of the Boeing complex. I actually was just up there visiting my daughter. Drove right by here. Didn't hook up with Freaky D because a very short visit, but I will next time. We've never actually met in person. Hoping to go to the Flight Sim Expo in Providence, Rhode Island. I live in Connecticut, USA, so hopefully to see everyone there. This is the KC-45. It's converted, it's in the Boeing 767-200 airframe, the United States Air Force and other air forces. 76-8, and you get the idea. Pretty cool though. It's even got a Stratotanker or Stratofortress, sorry guys, over here. Stratotanker, I think, is a KC-135. B-52, first made in 1950. They look a little better than that. That one looks like it was made in 1950. Looks like me. So anyway, oh, looking like me. Looking like me. This is important. That's our flight plan. Last video, someone left that I looked like Bill Belichick, and I don't think so. Judge for yourself. That's Bill Belichick. That's me. Bill, me, together. Bill, me, together. Mix it up. Yeah, I guess he's right. That's Subsonic Flight Training. That's Captain Al. Little plug for him. You can see. I'll leave the link below in the description. And he's if you're going to get checked out, since this is going to be standard equipment on the Microsoft Simulator 2024, you might want to go to him if you want flying lessons. He can get you hooked up there. Also, PMDG, of course, is coming out with their 74-8 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Hopefully soon. I'm trying desperately to get on their team. I don't think it's going to work out, but I'm asking. Since I've never flown it, I'm not as valuable, even though I have 21,000 hours as some other guys are. Captain Al definitely should be on their team. Anyway, here we are at the gate. That's where Mike works, right there. The Freaky D works in there. That's good. That's enough. Let's. I'm going to take you cold dark, taxi out, take off. Going to try to use say intentions. Let me see something. I've been having mixed reviews on the last two things on getting.
Boarding requested.
No, it's working. You know what I think it is? If I start saying intentions, it has traffic congestion. And I think that's the problem, because it worked with every other airplane but this one, whether I was on a scenery pack or not. I think it's traffic congestion. So when I start saying tensions, I believe, because it has traffic congestion now, injection, I'm sorry, not ingestion, that'd be eating, right? Anyway, but we're going to take a bunch of Boeing engineers up, take them around the pattern, and get started. Actually, Freaky D's probably one of them. Let's get up here. I'm going to turn on the battery and external power, get that going. I'm not going to do the fire test. Very abbreviated checklist here, guys. I'm going to start up the APU, start standby power, and like almost all major aircraft, I'm just going to do the columns up and down. Circuit breakers are all good, all behind me, fire bottles, all that stuff. So I'm just going to do the standard overhead stuff. Yeah, I like this new feature on GSX.
Do you want to board crew?
Yeah, of course.
Pilot's boarding started.
Come on, get all those engineers on too, and the staff for these pattern work. The airplanes in here being tested. Who doesn't want to fly around in the president's plane? I don't know if they'd actually allow that. Probably not. Freaky, you can leave a message. I'm sure they don't let you fly around in the president's plane.
Crew boarding starting.
But that would be cool. We got to get the nav power on, so that the ground knows we got the power in there.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Pumps are off. Oh, guys, there's a fuel to tank message. Is it on here yet? Tank to engine message that's going to be on. If I was just reading in the manual, if you turn off these fuel cross feeds and the override pumps, you won't get that message. We'll do that. Window heat's on. See these engine ice? We always left them at American Airlines in the triple in auto.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Only time we turned them on is when we were on the before takeoff, because they don't come on automatically on the ground if we hit with less than 10 degrees visible moisture, blah, blah, blah. So, all right, everything else, I got to go up here, I think, and I got to turn on the emergency exit lights. I think that's all we have to do. Like I said, this is abbreviated. And unfortunately, my Logitech panels
Your crew has boarded.
do not seem to want to work.
Passengers boarding starting.
Interesting. Really wish they would, because that helps a lot. So therefore, we're going to go to the mode control panel here, and we're going to go to 4,000 feet for our pattern work initially. Get that up here. And what's the runway heading? 163. 163. This is 20 seconds of your life you can't get back. Yeah, I have Logitech panels here. I should get that stream. What is that thing called? It's a little faster, right? This, and this will be down around 160, or at least it usually is on this airplane, lightweight. Let's get that in the ballpark. Turn on the flight directors. Disengage bar is up. I'll use data. And I don't need airport on here. That's good enough. We'll just leave that just like that. Altitude. Yeah, everything's working, but my comm panel is not working, which is not a big deal since we're going to be using it. So I guess I can use one of my panels. One of them is not working. I'll have to do an update on that. So that'll help. So that's all set up. Doing that. Overhead's done. Let's do the box. 74-8I GEs. I'm going to try to start 3 and 4 together. Yesterday, last couple of days, my first 2 flights ever on this thing, I started 4, then 1, 2, 3. That's what the manual said that they provided you. But I read on when I was watching Captain Al on subsonic flight training, which I just showed you, he said 3 and 4 together, and then 1 and 2 together. We'll try that. I guess that's for GEs. You can do that. Gonna put GPS in here, drop that down, KPAE, and we'll do the magic here. Go to route request. I'll have this all time-stamped, guys, so you can jump around to the ILS, the Go-Around, the RNAV, all that stuff.
Hello.
Load her up. Sounds like they're boarding back there, huh? Air Force One, there it is.
Hello.
Gonna be 16 right, but we could have done that through the departure arrival page, but that's good. Execute. Perfinite. Zero fuel, double click. Nope, can't do that because I have not done the load yet. Do the load, settings, weight balance, operational flight plan. It's going to go from 210 pounds to 30,000 pounds. There it is. Very lightweight. I did show you the flight plan, right? It's Captain Al. So much publicity. Passenger 275. I don't even know if Air Force One can hold that, but we got the press on board. We'll say it's the maiden test flight for the pattern work that we could bring people on. It's not just a test flight. It's got the engineers on. Everyone gets to enjoy it and use the president's airplane to fly around.
Hello.
Make this a little smaller so I don't click on the wrong panel. Okay, back down here. There's that. We're going to go back to a knit. Zero fuel weight. Now we can click double fuel. Zero fuel weight. I don't know. 10. Doesn't matter. Cost index. We have to get that one. I'm just going to put 50 in there. That doesn't matter today. I usually do put that in there. Thrust limit. Let's do that. That. And I don't have a flight computer on here, but I'll go 59 on this bad boy. 85. We'll try to take off with 85% power. See, yeah, you know what? That's probably crazy. What are you, crazy, Captain? 42% power takeoff. Let's do that. We can do that. We're going to go flaps 10. Double click the CG. Look how low that is. Make these big. Hey, look at that. B2's 160. Who's better than me? Remember? So their departure arrivals. That one is good. No SID. Going to be runway heading for pattern work. We'll come back in for the ILS to 716 right. Nothing. Take a look at the route.
Welcome on board.
Direct Savoy, 16 right ILS. Legs.
Good morning.
Looks good. A knit. Thrust limit. Alright, everything looks good. Alright, so I'll be on takeoff.
Good morning.
Put this young fellow over here on legs, and I do believe the box is properly loaded for the
Hello.
moment. Coming down the middle, not going to test anything, guys. Gonna come all the way down. Let's take a look at our messages here.
Good morning.
Hydraulic pressure pack engine 1, shutdown, battery off. Okay, so I guess that was on when we came on board. Battery off.
Welcome on board.
That's why we check those things. All right, so abbreviated checklist. Sure, Captain Al, if you're watching, you want to croak watching this thing, but we're just getting it done real fast. I obviously know how to do it better than that. Packs off for the moment. Let me take a look on the overhead.
This way, please.
They're off. We can put those on for now. Turn them off for engine start. And bleeds, no reason for the bleeds to be off. I don't know why they started with those off. Turn those on, and I do believe that's how it should end up, at least in the 777. That's how we always ended up. I'll use VNAV, no LNAV, runway heading, 4,000, request pattern work with say intentions. We'll try that. And it's not going to go yet because I think it's still aligning. Let me see if it's still aligning. Nope. So APU is available. I'm going to manually select those. Yeah, the 777 just automatically
Hello.
transferred for after engine start, but you got to really watch it on this thing.
This way.
I really messed myself up before. Okay, that all looks good. Let me start saying tensions. Now I'm wondering now, because this has traffic congestion, is after I start this if GSX is not going to work. We'll find out. I've downloaded Pushback toolbar just in case. Here we are saying tensions. I'll show you my settings just because this is an instructional video as much as I do kind of a stream of consciousness thing, guys. Not a lot of immersion and some of these guys into the blue. Oh my God, those guys are awesome. I don't know how to do that stuff. But anyway, the language, we're going to use English. It's the only thing I know. I don't even know English in UK. English, I don't know any of that. So always on top of auto tune and auto transport. We're just going to use tower and ground and clearance and ATIS. So we'll let our boys do that. Let's see, sim brief, username, don't tell anyone. Identity, Air Force One Heavy. I'm not going to use sim brief. I'm just going to use manual call sign headset. Turtle Beach all looks good. Here's my comms for volume control. Intercoms to the flight attendants and everything effects. We'll listen to board all those engineers. Get my comm button set up for PT1 and 2. Multiplayer. I just use CAN and live multiplayer. If you want to use live multiplayer globally, you get transmissions from anyone on that frequency worldwide, pre-recorded as anyone who's made a transmission on that. So, but I'll share my audio since it's so good. Miscellaneous, standard ATC experience. If you want to go with Pro mode, you lose all your frequencies, and you lose your log, your ATC log here. So that's not really good for doing the productions. So I'm going to do miscellaneous. I'll use standard mode, but it's good for practicing for BATSIM, the real world, or IVAO. Preview. Now I do have the partner program. I bought the year membership for Say Intentions and Beyond ATC. I love all these panels. That and FSI panel, I love all these things. Just unbelievable. I just discovered them a couple of weeks ago. I've got my first YouTube paycheck. I bought both those programs. So traffic sequencing, when you're in the partner program, you get these not even alpha programs. They warn you, say, guys, it's glitchy. We're just getting them up to speed. But they think by the end of December they're going to have traffic sequencing on Say Intentions. You can put a high, low, medium, wavy. I'm going to put it on high. Odds of cabin crisis, I usually leave that on 100%, but not with the president's plane. We're going to turn that off with no issues. Okay. And experimental, I leave an experimental. That gives me access to all these things here. All right, so that's good. I wanted to show you how I set that up. Let me check in with the flight attendants. Alejandro, how you doing this morning?
Hello.
And I'll check in with our co-pilot, Ace.
Oh, I'm doing great, Captain. Just ready to spread some good vibes to our lovely passengers.
Okay, we'll be underway here in about 5 minutes.
Hola, ladies and gentlemen. This is Alejandro, your friendly purser. We are thrilled to have you on board today. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. We'll be taking off shortly.
I turn on the seatbelt sign. I think what I need to do probably, guys, is turn down Alejandro just a bit.
Good morning.
Intercom, I believe it's on controls. We'll figure it out. Intercom, get that down here. And let me check in with Ace. Good morning, Ace. You almost ready to go?
Hello.
I was going to say, I'll take over the comms.
G'day, Jeff.
Good
I'm
morning.
all set to handle the comms once you hand them over. Just let me know when you're ready for me to take the reins.
Okay.
Hello.
It's that. That's a little bit low on the volume, but Ace is there. Sounds like he has an Australian accent. Probably good guy. It's going to be a good layover.
This way, please.
All right, here we go. We got that done. Let's get the ATIS.
Airport. Information Lima. 0953 Zulu.
Lima.
Wind 135 at 10. Visibility 10.
This way.
Sky conditions, solid overcast at 1300 feet. Temperature 8. Dew point 5. Altimeter 2988. Arriving and departing runways 16 right, 16 left. Visual approaches in use. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures contact clearance delivery on 127.175, advise on initial contact you have information Lima. Snohomish County, Paine Field, Airport, information Lima. 0953 Zulu. Wind 135 at 10. Visibility 10. Sky conditions.
All right.
Solid overcast at 1300 feet.
Okay, Ace, I'm ready to copy clearance whenever you want to get clearance. I've changed them over. I clicked here and changed
Righto,
over
Jeff. I'll get our clearance sorted now.
There's a happy sort.
Good morning.
Sounds like they're
So
still
Hamish County
boarding back
Airport
there.
clearance, Air Force One, heavy, we'd like to receive our IFR clearance, and we have uniform.
Hello.
See the squawk chain? Remember I checked that
Air
box? There
Force
it
One
is.
Heavy, Snohomish County Airport clearance. Cleared to Snohomish. Radar vector Savoy. Then as filed. Climb and maintain 4,000.
May I speak?
Departure on 128.5 squawk 5232.
Snohomish County Airport clearance, Air Force One.
Please.
Heavy, clears to Snohomish.
Let's wait
Expect
for
radar
R5.
vectors to
There's a
Savoy and
squawk.
proceed as filed. Climb to and maintain 4,000. Departure frequency is 128.5, squawk 5232.
Air Force One Heavy, read back correct.
All right, guys. So nice job by Ace. Thank you, Ace. And looks like the passengers are almost
Hola,
boarded.
ladies
okay?
and gentlemen. Welcome aboard this fabulous flight with us today. My name is Alejandro, your purser, and I am thrilled to have you on board our beautiful Boeing 747-8I. We're just about ready to take off to Snohomish County, and we can't wait to get you there. Please remember to store your carry-on items in the overhead compartments or under the seat in front of you, and be careful when doing so, eh? If you need any help, just give us a shout. Also, a special reminder for our lovely passengers seated in the exit rows. Please review the safety instructions in your seat pocket. If you're not comfortable
this is
assisting
really
in an
impressive
emergency, just let us know, and we
For
can find you
a
another
stock
seat.
aircraft,
Thank
Microsoft
you for
Flight
your
Simulator,
attention,
in
and enjoy the
2024,
flight.
this 2024 is going to come with the most basic package. So that's cool, too.
Welcome on board.
Hey, I'm psyched that the GSX is working. Would not work for me
Boarding pass.
for the first two flights. I'm not sure why. I'm really not sure why. But I tried it with the MD-11, PMDG 7.3, no problems. But it just, I reloaded the GSX. I did that. I took it out of a scenery pack. But for whatever reason, now on the third flight with it, it's working. So we're going to try to taxi out at 16 right. Let's take a look at that, guys. Here we are, KPAE. We're going to taxi out on 16 right.
Good morning.
We do this. We're right here. Back up, nose to the left, and come out.
On board.
Probably Alpha. Might be Alpha 1. We'll take a look where it is. You can do a thing called progressive taxi, which we all know what that is, but and we'll ask that. We'll try with that with say intentions just for fun. Then we'll come back in, and we'll do a couple of approaches. First one we'll do is ILS Yankee. See how it says 770? I was looking at this. And then we'll come back in and do the RNAV's Yankee, which is also 770. So I'm going to put in this window 770, but I don't want you guys to see it because it is embarrassingly painful to get that set. You know what? I don't even want you to see it. I'll be right back. There we go, 770. It's just 3 minutes of your life that you'll never get back watching me do that. So, okay, looks like that they're ready out there. It's one of the benefits of hacking around. So let's do this. We'll get ready for pushback. It's going to be quick because we already have the tug connected, which is great.
Locking gear.
Waiting for your action. Close passenger door. Hoping they do that by themselves. Let's run the checklist. Parking brake set. Passenger signs are on. MCP, takeoff speed, CDU, pre-flight, taxi beacon. We'll do that. Trim 6.4. Flight controls. Yeah, like I say, guys, I'm doing a abbreviated checklist here. 6.4. Very forward CG because we're so light. I don't know what that noise is. Noisy out there, huh? We're going to get ready to push back, so come in here. Guys can let me know if you're not allowed for start, for taxi, anti-ice. Okay, let's go to the overhead. I think Boeing should have, as part of that electronic checklist, this stuff here too. All the hydraulic pumps are on. I'm going to turn on the fuel pumps. are on beacon. We'll say that we're going to call now. Okay, Ace, you can call for pushback, please.
All right, Jeff, requesting pushback now.
And we are on APU, so they'll be pulling the external here shortly. I don't think I have a way of doing that.
Snohomish County Airport ground, Air Force One, heavy, requesting pushback. Air Force One, heavy, pushback approved, tail east.
All right, pushback through tail east. So let me get back in here. Continue pushback. Nose to the left. Nose left. Tail right. All right.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Okay, let's go to the overhead. We're gonna go 3 and 4. No lights come on there. Oh, I know what I have to do first, though, guys. Gotta shut off the packs, right? 1, 2.
Hola, ladies and gentlemen. This is
3.
Alejandro, your purser, and I'm thrilled to welcome you aboard our Boeing 747-8I flight today. We're pushing back from Snohomish County and heading back to Snohomish County as well, with an estimated flight time of about 20 minutes.
Should say auto
As we
start
begin
here, I
our
think.
pushback, please ensure that your seatbelts are fastened and remain seated. Oh, and
Oh, that
kindly
one's
turn
an
off
auto
all
start.
electronic devices
This one
or switch
doesn't
them
say
to
auto
airplane
start
mode, eh?
because
Your cooperation is super important for everyone's safety.
did I not put
We have
the
a
switch
total
in?
of 8 emergency
Yeah, I
exits
think I have
on
to go
board,
back up
and I
and
encourage you to take a moment to locate the nearest one, which might be behind you, eh? Just a friendly reminder that smoking or vaping is not allowed on this flight, and we have smoke detectors in the restrooms to ensure everyone's safety.
I don't know.
Once we reach a safe altitude, we will be turning
I
on
don't
the
know what I did
Wi-Fi,
wrong.
and our service will begin shortly after that. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. We are so happy to have you as our guest today.
Captain Al didn't mention this, but we used to use 246-810. This is going to be around 2. This is going to be around 4. This is going to be around 6. And 8, which we talked about eating the oil gulp. See how this went from 21 down to 15 or so. 246-8. And then 10 is around 1,000 on the fuel flow. Looks like the fuel flow on this one is a little lower. It's down around 700 on the fuel flow. All right, so I think I did a boo-boo on this. Oh, attaboy, Jeff. There's the auto start. You know, guys.
Please set parking brake.
It's kind of a gross assumption. I'm gonna set my brake.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
Yeah, I put the wrong fuel lever up. I did that once on an MD, on an Airbus. Long story. When I was a co-pilot, called maintenance and everything, of course. All right, that's good. 2 good starts there. We'll go 1 and 2. See if Captain Marvel can do this correctly. 1, 2. Take a look here. And do we get auto start on both of them? Yeah, there it is. Auto start. 3 starts in a 60-minute period, I believe it is. If you get a hung start, hot start, no oil pressure rise, pretty much everything.
Bypass pin removed.
So Captain Al, correct us if we can't start,
Left is clear.
because we do
Right
have
is
GEs.
clear.
I know on the American Airlines, the 777s, we had Rolls Royces on our 200s, and we could start both at once. But because we had GEs on our 300s, we had to start them one at a time. So I'm not sure how that works with yours. You'd have to tell me. This looks good. They're not out there yet. Put the flaps to 10. There they are out there. Yeah, that's not working. Flash the taxi light. Oh no, hung up a little. Yep, salute. There they go. Get the taxi light on. Let's get the flight controls checked. Flight control. All right, check a couple things here. Stab trend 6.4, 6.4. Come the rudders. 6 seconds stop to stop is what we usually go for. Usually the FO checks the tops. And captain checks the bottoms. That's funny that the nose wheel steering turns with the wheel. Is that a thing? Captain Al comments, is that a thing? I mean, that's like a car. Means I could possibly steer this? That's interesting. I don't know about that. That's kind of funky. So we're going to go stat. I like to check stat. One last check. Hydraulics, oxygen. If you say NF, no refill on there, or RF, which is refill, if you needed more. Engine looks good. Packs, we'll get to the overhead. This is big for me. Turn off the APU. I didn't do that the first time. This, turn the packs back on. Don't know what the sequence is there. Should probably take a couple of lessons from Captain Al. Probably should. And no unwanted messages. Do a recall. Nothing. All right. Clear left, clear right. I have a salute. Taxi lights on already. Okay, Ace, you can call for taxi, please. And get progressive taxi.
Righto, Jeff. Requesting taxi clearance now. Requesting
progressive taxi
now, Jeff.
Progressive taxi. See the lights? Cool.
Snohomish County Airport ground, Air Force One, heavy, requesting taxi clearance. Progressive, please.
Brakes are off.
Air Force One, heavy, taxi to runway 16 right via Alpha 1. Progressive taxi path will be activated for you. Runway 16 right via Alpha 1. Progressive taxi path activated. Air Force One, heavy.
Heavy. He's my brother. I know, guys. There's no need to be mean. All right, waste, winds, and temperatures check. We'll say the box is updated. Update to 0 fuel weight. Check the winds. Make sure we have headwind. If we have a tailwind, we usually subtract off the runway limited weight. Naturally, today we'd be no problems. We would probably go max power if we had over a 2-knot tailwind. Weights, winds, and temperatures checked. MCP is checked. 4,000, 163 on the heading, and 160 on V2. We got VNAV, no LNAV. And any questions? No, if we lose an engine. Oh, watch this. You know what I could do? Ace, you want to do our takeoff briefing? Hopefully that doesn't mess him up. He might think that's supposed to be done at the gate.
Alright, Jeff, here's our takeoff briefing. We'll be departing from runway 16 right. Initial climb clearance is to 4,000 feet. After takeoff, we'll follow radar vectors to Savoy, then as filed. Weather at departure shows no significant issues.
450 Alpha Bravo, taxi to runway 09 via taxi.
Sounds good, nice job.
Engine failure below 400 feet. We'll continue straight ahead and follow ATIS instructions. Above 400 feet, we'll follow the engine outset procedure, climbing to 3,000 feet before turning back. For any abnormalities or emergencies before V1, we'll reject the takeoff and apply maximum braking. After V1, we'll continue the takeoff, handle the emergency, and communicate with ATC. We've been cleared as filed. Squawk code is 5232 and departure frequency will be 128.5. We're configured for takeoff with flaps 5. V1 is 142 knots, VR is 147 knots, and V2 is 152 knots. We'll climb out at V2 plus 10 knots. I think we're ready to go, Captain.
Get that ready, zone ready. Back inside. Okay, Ace, could you tell tower we're ready for takeoff?
Alright, Jeff, requesting takeoff clearance now.
I'm going to go to the overhead and get my lights on while they're doing that. I'll turn on the runway, turn off, so we look nice and bright in the pattern. Strobe's coming on, wings out.
Snohomish County Airport Tower, Air Force 1, heavy, heavy, holding short of runway 16 right, ready to depart.
Air Force 1, heavy, heavy. Snohomish County Airport Tower, cleared for takeoff runway 16 right. After takeoff, fly runway heading until reaching 4,000, then proceed on course.
Cleared for takeoff runway 16 right. Fly runway heading until reaching 4,000, then proceed on course. Air Force 1, heavy, heavy.
Heavy, heavy. Flight attendants prepared for takeoff. All right, let's do a couple of patterns, guys, see how this works out. First two takeoffs, it was pulling to the right, and I was reading on some site, not PMDG, the ASOBO site or something, that try putting in rudder assist. I fly with all the assist off for obvious reasons. I should be able to do it, but I hope that works better, because on landing and takeoff it was pulling hard to the left after landing. All right, once we get going, I'm going to take over the comms here. I could do Ace. We'll let Ace do it again here for a second. Throttles are coming in. Toga. Looking for 90 even. Thrust is set. 80 knots. V1 or rotate. Yeah, it didn't pull, so that worked.
Skyhawk 542 Alpha X-ray cleared for takeoff. Runway 21. Caution lake turbulence.
That's a checklist incomplete. Positive rate gear up.
Runway 21. Skyhawk 542 Alpha X-ray.
I never close the checklist out. I'm gonna turn the autopilot on. I'm gonna go heading select. Go over here. Heading select, and I'm just going to go level change on up instead of VNAV, guys, because it's going to stay in the pattern. 3 for 4. I'm going to bring the speed way up to 250. Get it cleaned up. There we go. Flaps to 5. You can go flaps to 1. Ace, can you tell me like the right downwind for the visual approach to runway 16? Here we go, 4,000, 163 heading. Flaps up. Have takeoff checklist.
Sorry, Jeff. I'm only trained to handle the comms and IFR procedures. Can't help with visual approach patterns.
Okay, then could you ask, Ace, could you ask them for a right downwind for the ILS to 16 right? See if they'll do that for me. And Tower Air Force 1 Heavy, we'd like to have a right downwind for the ILS to 16 right.
Air Force 1 heavy, heavy, and a right downwind for ILS 16 right approach.
All right, so guys, I'm going to try about a 320 heading instead of a 343, which would be a no-wind heading. Just to get myself a little displacement, and we're going to come in here. While we're doing that, we're going to maintain 4,000 and go over here, look at the ILS.
Kilo Uniform 59, enter left downwind, expect landing
GPS.
clearance. Entering left
Lock that
downwind,
in for next time.
Clearance, Mustang 9er, Kilo Uniform 59.
Yankee. Okay, here we go. ILS 16 right. Yankee, 10 August 23. We're on Halloween in the colonies. 1031. And database is updated, by the way, guys. 10.3, 1097, 162, 1097, 162, 197. 7. No, let's do that. Let's do this.
Skyhawk 542 Alpha X-ray
ILS
cleared for
Yankee.
takeoff, runway 21, caution wake turbulence.
16 right like that.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 21, Skyhawk 542 Alpha X-ray.
3. A little confused. Hang on. I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. 1093. What a mind. What a mind. All right, rolling on a 320 heading in the weather. I don't think this thing has weather. Turn it on. And 770 is set for the mins. Let's get the box set up here properly. It's kind of looking ugly right now. We'll go direct to Ewok like that, but we'll put in 163 as the inbound to extend it. See if that works out for now. I didn't like that. Let me just go now 343 heading, being no wind heading. And I think I'll descend down to 3,000. And Air Force One Heavy is midfield for ILS 16 right. I'm going to go back in here, guys, and do this over again.
Air Force 1 Heavy Heavy, winds 125 at 7, runway 16 right, cleared for ILS approach.
PIP ILS 16 right, Air Force 1 Heavy. All right, let's see if we get that's a little better. There we go. It's out there. It's out there. I'll just go direct Ewok when we get in there, guys. So we're going to do this one to a go-round, so let's complete our brief. We're going to come in, ILS 16 right. What's the weather down there? Weather. KPAE. No ATIS. VTAR. A little bit of a headwind, 10 miles, 1,400 scattered, so we'll break out at about 3 miles or so, 3.5, 4 miles. Here we are in our downwind. We call midfield downwind for them. We'll do a right base, come on in. We have the weather, we have the frequency set. Ewok at 3. And we're then send it down to 3, Tippy at 2. So we'll come in outside of Ewok to do our go-round. 770 is our mins, we have that set. We do have Pappies on the right, Malzars. We have, for landing, 16 right, about 8,000 feet. We're going to go back into the box. I'm going to do flaps 30, plus 5 of 5 out of 143, and I'll come up here, and I'll set my brakes at 2, even though we're probably going to go around, and we can arm the spoilers now. They're armed, and how do we know? Because it says speed brake armed up here. Before taxi, we did all this, guys. Let's do our checklist so we don't get those warnings. Checklist override. Next. Have to take off. Next. Before takeoff, checklist override. All right, now we're all good. We're takeoff, descent. Checklist override. And approach. Altimeters are set. This one before landing. Leave it there. Otherwise, you'll get those messages that you weren't. The checklist was not complete. All right, so we're clear for the ILS. We're basically doing pattern work. I guess we're the only ones at Boeing Field, so we are in the president's, soon-to-be president's airplane, right? So we'll come on in. All right, good. I'll come in over Ewok. I can come in sooner. I just want to be down at 2,000. So let's go down to 2. Cut this a little short. Go down to 2, and then as soon as we get down to 2, I'll go direct to the FAF, the Glide-Slope Intercept. We'll get that done. And 285 is our flaps 1 speed, so we're at 250. We can go flaps 5. I'll bring this back to 230. Descending down to 2. I'll go to the box. And I'll give myself direct to there, come up here, go LNAV, let it turn it around, slow down to 210, tighten up the turn radius a little bit. Captain Al, I'm excited for you to watch this, buddy, since you're an instructor on this airplane. Probably use your help getting ready for PMDG 787-I. And just the standard edition. Yeah, this airplane is coming as part of the standard edition. So we already know it flies well. You're watching me do it. So this thing does, it's not a study level, whatever that is, right, airplane, but it sure does fly well. I'm not going to arm the ILS just yet, although there's the Ghost. Take a look here. We call it the Ghost. It's just slang. We don't like to use it in the simulator, but that's those white bars there. That's the localizer and the glide slope. We're trying to be at a tippy at 180 knots or less. Right now we have 8 miles to go. We're at 210, so we're in good shape. We got flaps at 1, but we're below at 265. We'll go flaps 5. Get that down so we have a little bit of drag. Actually, we're down below 245. I can go flaps 10. Really be able to slow down in a hurry if we need to. We'll intercept right at a tippy. We'll do the whole thing like a visual out there. There it is out there. And we'll come over. I don't want to really arm the ILS yet. We are in a visual. Let me bring this around the heading. We'll just do it right over the FAF on an intercept. Do the approach. It may run over there and grab it. There he is, loc arm, glide slope armed. And we can go, 210's fine right now. I said I want to be at 180 or less at a tippy. So we'll do this to go around. That go around procedure, guys, unless Captain Al, you can correct me when you watch it. It's going around flaps 20, which is 2 clicks up. I'll be at flaps 35. Go around flaps 20, then positive rate, gear up, set Msfs approach altitude, which will be 2,000. 2,000. And then at 1,000 feet above the ground, we can go VNAV and LNAV, or we can go flight level change and heading select, which we'll probably do since we're staying in the pattern, coming back around for the RNAV. Okay, let's get gear down. Flaps 20, since we're below 235, and I'll get the speed back to 180. Yeah, this is nice, guys. I've been flying around the PMDG 777, and I've been flying the TFDi MD-11, and of course those are high-fidelity airplanes. This is more than adequate. So we're kind of on an ILS, but really a visual, doing pattern work, and so I'm getting kind of a tight intercept over the directly over the FAF, which is, you know, not ideal, but that's what we're doing. Turn up the lighting a little bit. Kind of dark out here. Kind of a dark cockpit, isn't it? There he goes, capturing the localizer. It's going over to grab it. I made it nervous. All right, so here comes the glide slope. We'll get the airspeed back while we can. And we'll go flaps. We can bring the flaps. So we're below 185, so flaps all the way to 30, and before landing checklist. And flaps are 30, and we are flying 143 on final. 143, runway heading set, Msfs approach altitude is set. We are low capture, glide slope capture, coming in nicely. Autopilot's off. And Air Force One is on final for 16 right.
Air Force One heavy, runway 16 right, winds 125 at 8. Clear to land.
Clear to land 16 right, Air Force One heavy. All right, clear to land, guys. It's red over white. And these giant airplanes, usually you kind of want 1 red over 3 whites. Right there with 2 reds and 1 white. That's probably a little low. In fact, was a tiny bit low, but run over 2 whites. Usually I break the sync on a 30 feet or so on a it's 777. This one I'm going to start breaking it around 50, but we're not doing it. We're coming in, and somewhere in here he says going around. I'm going to go going around, toga. Flaps 20, which is 2 clicks. Air Force One is going around. Gear up.
Air Force One heavy. Traffic on the runway. Landing clearance canceled. Execute missed approach procedure. Contact departure on 128.5.
128.5, execute missed approach, climbing to 4,000, Air Force One heavy. So guys, I'm going to go heading select. With the speed coming up, we're going up to 4,000. We'll go up to 230 or so. Flaps 5. And we're going to stay with tower. And tower, Air Force One heavy, you'd like to right downwind for the RNAV to runway 16 right.
Air Force One heavy. Enter right downwind for the RNAV approach to runway 16 right.
We'll enter right downwind for the RNAV approach 16 right. Air Force One heavy. All right, guys. So I'm going to go flight level change.
Air Force One heavy. Roger. Continue right downwind for the RNAV approach to runway 16 right.
And I'll keep going. Air Force One heavy will continue right downwind for the RNAV approach 16 right. I'm just hand flying the guys till I get it stable at 4,000 and 230. You know, just keep the turn coming around. We'll get the flight guidance and all that set up here in a minute. All right, that looks good. I can turn on the autopilot is engaged. Heading select, altitude hold 230. 320. And we'll set up to the RNAV 16 right. So that went well. Went around. Bring the flaps up the rest of the way. Auto brakes are off. Spoilers. You can disarm. Rearm them. We'll go back to 2 on the auto brakes. And we'll come back in here and set up for the RNAV. I'm doing a 320 to get a little wider berth on here. So now we're going to do departures, arrivals, set this up for the RNAV Yankee 16 right, and that looks good. Go to my legs, EWOC and Tippy, we'll just leave it just like that for now. We'll quint over EWOP at 3,000, so let's go down to 3,000. I like to get at least 5 miles before I parallel the runway. So that's going to be, there's a 5-mile circle, and it's about 4, because I don't want to overshoot coming back in. Going down 4 for 3, 3 set 320. I'll set a parallel heading now, 343, no wind heading. A little bit of left cross, so I'll go 340. Now let's go 338. You see the little bit of a left crosswind. I just don't want to be tight. Yeah, that's close. 340 is good. Going down to 3, checklist. In the simulator, we do a lot of these multiple approaches, and you got to redo this checklist all the time. So we'll come up here. Otherwise, you'll end up with an incomplete checklist like we did on Takeoff there. So we come in here, normal, shutdown, checklist override, normal, checklist override, normal. And I'm just going to go normal. I'm going to go to descent, checklist, normal, approach, altimeters, normal, and I'm going to do, I'm sorry, you had to see that, guys. Landing, put it there. We got a checklist reset on that one. Speed brakes are armed. Okay, we're good. And he didn't ask us to call for midfield on this one, so we won't. For this one, guys, because it's an RNAV, I'm going to come in EWOC at 3,000. So what we do is we go to Prague, page 4 for the RNAV. We put in 125 here, hard tune that. We put in whatever the RNP is for that approach, but in this case it's 0.3. That would actually come up 0.3. And if it was 0.11, we go all the way down to 0.1, we put that in. We go to the legs, and we want to make sure we have at least that we have a 3-degree glide path, and that the runway's misapproach point, have the proper FAF and misapproach point. The 610 looks good. Check the missed approach. Go into 20 SEPO. We know that's good. We go to this, reset that. We'll do flaps 30, 142 final. Brief the approach. There we are. We'll come up over EWOC. It's going to be the, how about if we get the right approach up there? How about if we get up over the GPS Yankee, GPS, so we really have to put in the RP, the 16 right, 12-2, 18 August 23. We'll cross Ewok at 3, Etipi at 2, going down to 770 in that set. We have Pappies on the right, Mausers via left-hand turn off. We'll go back to the gate that we came from if we can find it, and that's it. I'm not going to request progressive taxi because I don't know where they're going to send me. I want to go back to that same gate to drop off the engineers in Freaking D.
542 Alpha X-ray, extend upwind I will call your crosswind.
I don't want to make this too tight because I do want to do a full RNAV for you. How much time have we got? Yeah, we're at 56 minutes, so we'll be a little over an hour 10 for this. It's a fun demonstration. As I mentioned, it's only my 3rd flight on this thing, but because I flew so much on the, that I'm a 777 qualified pilot, well, I was until I retired, right? All right, so EWOC, let's go over there, and let's go direct EWOC right about now. And we'll go legs, EWOC, enter, brace yourself, LNAV, 210. And we're below 285, flaps to 1. And the flaps to 1 down here. The heading bug just flew it around here. Let's get it going the correct way. So we're going to do a thing called 2 buttons, 2 windows. 2 buttons when we're cleared for the approach are LNAV, VNAV, and then open the speed select window, which is called speed intervene, and dial down to minimums, which is 770, probably 800. So 2 windows, 2 bugs. So it's going to be LNAV, VNAV, speed intervene, get whatever speed you want, and down the minimums when we're clear for the approach. And Air Force One Heavy turning onto final for the RNAV to 16 right. Okay, we're going to assume that we're cleared, so we're going to go 2 buttons, speed intervene. Let's go flaps 5, we're below 265. And we can dial in the minimums, which is down to 780. So 2 buttons, 2 windows. There we go. 2 buttons, 2 windows, which is speed intervene and 180. And I can get my headings bug set for the go-round, which I hope I don't have to do. A little longer video than I wanted. I'm going to call final. And Air Force One is turning final for RNAV 16 right. We're going to let it see if it figures itself out here. It should be crossing at 3,000, guys. Here comes the crossing. 3,000 is set. Flaps are 10. I'm going to set this down to minimums, which are 780. Crossing Ewok now. There it is. Is it going to start down? A little concern here. Maybe it's because it's low. That's okay. Well, let's see if it catches up here, guys, on the RNAV. I'm going to get it configured just to be ready. Flaps 20. And tower Air Force One is on final for 16 right.
Air Force One heavy, winds 125 at 8, runway 16 right, cleared to land.
Cleared to land 16 right, Air Force One heavy. Coming in a little low, I know. So the Itapi was supposed to be at 2. We're 3 miles, so we're expecting the Prague this to come down. Which is right there. And we're down below 225, 210, so flaps 25. $60 or so, below 180, flaps 30. The approach speed 137, 142. Here comes the VTI. It's out. Send it on down. I should be in a path. There it is, guys. That's me. That's me. So 2 buttons, 2 windows. But when I pressed on the button, it should have waited until it hit the path to start down, but it didn't. So now we're coming in. It's figuring itself out. It says it's in path. That means it knows it's tracking. So not ideal, but anyway. And once we're below a tippy and below 2,000 feet below the missed approach altitude, we can set missed approach altitude. There's path struggling a little bit here. I might have done something to mix it up. Is it correcting on down? It still says it's in path, which means it knows where the VTI is, but I don't like the way those bars look, so I'm going to turn off the autopilot. I can see the VASIs. Let me get down closer and see. And I'll set the missed approach altitude at 2,000. And runway heading is set up. Approach speed set up. Let's get down manually to the, it says it's in path, but the bars aren't indicating that. So if we were in the weather, naturally it'd be a go-around. But we're coming down nicely. I can tell my aim point is short of the runway. There's the VASIs. Red, one red over a white. So I'll bring it up bottom quarter of my windscreen. And that should bring the VTI into effect here. That's about right about there. I'm looking outside. So it turned out to be a visual approach, guys, so not the best demonstration. But it's a good demonstration on how to fly a visual, right? So 1 red over 3 whites is not bad for a giant airplane. Not bad. So I'm going to break my sync around 50 feet. Yeah, it's white over white. Lower it. Yeah, 1 red over 3 whites for 7.4. Seems to me to be pretty good. Bottom quarter of the windscreen should be popping up here shortly. Left-hand turn off, by the way.
300. Approaching minimums. 200.
There it is.
Minimums.
Third landing.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Put it down, Captain Marvel. Am I not down yet?
Air Force One Heavy Heavy, welcome to Snohomish. Contact ground on 121.8.
121.8, thank you, Air Force One Heavy, thanks for your help. All right, AD. Turn off here, we'd ask for permission to turn off right here. And we wait till we clear the runway for flap stop after landing. That's it, a lot of fun. So, guys, look in the comments. We'll try to get Captain Al to give it to us straight. And ground, Air Force One Heavy's clear of 16 right, taxi to parking.
Air Force One Heavy Heavy, Snohomish County Airport ground. Taxi to terminal via Alpha 5 Charlie. Have a good day.
Alpha 5 Charlie, thanks a lot, Air Force One Heavy. How do I get back over there, guys? That's just turned here.
Air Force One Heavy Heavy, you're welcome. Have a great day.
You have a great day too, thank you, Air Force One Heavy. All right, APU is starting. This is fun. Yeah, guys, for a stock airplane, and this is going to be even the freighter version included on Msfs 2024 in the standard edition. So that's why I wanted to do this. I also wanted to try to get up to speed, as I mentioned, on the PMDG airplane. Let me make sure I'm going on the correct taxiway. I thought it was here. Yep, there it is. Try to go back to the gate from which we came to drop off everyone. So here's Freaky D. Don't forget, I'll leave Freaky D's link for flightsim.to. This is Paine Field, Everett, Washington, part of the Boeing field. So I'm going to leave in the comments for Captain Al's subsonic flight training if you're into the 7.4, learning how to fly it with him. He can give private lessons, but he's got a lot of great videos there, which I'm going to watch as I qualify myself on this thing. I'd love to get a hold of a 747-8 manual, but they're still active, so I don't know if anyone has a deactivated manual that they could send me. That would be awesome. I'm going to really study this. This is a blast. So I'm a 21,000-hour pilot. Flew for the Air Force, T-37s, and then tankers, and then I flew hired by American in 1987. Boeing 727 engineer, then a Airbus A300-600 co-pilot, MD-11 FO, worked for TFDi here, still am, flying the MD-11 as a test pilot. Try to get up over here somehow. I think we're going to have to go all the way in to get in there. I could have gone in that way, but I'll have to go all the way up here. Yeah. Could have gone in back there. Yeah. So I have to go back up here. As I mentioned, this will be time stamped, but yeah. Then after that, I upgraded to Super 80 Captain in 1997. Had been an FO for 10 years. I upgraded as soon as I could. Ended up being a check airman on that, doing line checks for guys, and enjoyed that. Then after 9/11, they get rid of the check airman in New York, and I went to the 7576 for 14 years, flying internationally, and I ended up going to the 7-3 for a couple of years when I got tired of flying internationally. Then I got tired of flying domestically in a hurry, and ended up over on the 777 for my last 5 years, and retired in September of 2023. That's my background. We have a great Discord. We have around 3,400 subscribers, a little over, on our way to 10,000. I'm doing this as my retirement hobby. This is definitely my way to give back, to mentor. I do most of my mentoring over on Discord, but here I let you know everything I'm thinking. I'm a very open guy. I'm going to tell you pretty much anything that I want you to know, but you can I am not going to hold back. I'm going to give you a nice briefing anytime I can. It ends up being like a stream of consciousness type thing as we get going. A lot of times. Let's take a look out here. Back inside. I think it's the next right up there, huh? Trying to make my way back to that gate over there. This is so cool, this flight sim stuff. I started flight simming, got the Xbox. My kids had it. We had it for Call of Duty. I played a little Call of Duty Warzone as an old guy. That was fun. I used to play with my boys. I actually had a 1.15 KD, which I'm pretty proud of at the end. I did a little bit of camping though, a little bit, you know, not as good as I should be. My boys don't camp. Oh, they're playing PUBG a lot now. And then but when the flight sim came out for Xbox, I decided I'd give that a try and I fell in love, and I was flying with an FO, and he was an avid flight simmer, and he goes, dude, you got to get yourself, I see him, guys, don't worry. I'm going to hop over him here. You got to get yourself a PC if you're going to flight sim. Can't be flight simming in the Xbox. So I did that, and the rest is history. Started streaming about content creating about a year and a half ago, and it's just been a labor of love. I've really loved every minute of it. Really have. I think we came right from here, didn't we? Yeah, we'll park here no matter what. With the president's airplane, we pretty much do whatever we want. That's not good. Got these little preset buttons that didn't work out. Oh, over here, okay. Trying to get up to turn off the taxi lights so I don't blind this guy. In what is one of the worst parking jobs in history, we have arrived at the gate. We'll stop here before we run this guy over. All right, so brakes and park. I know that because the message is there. Seatbelt sign is not there. Seatbelt sign is down here. Seatbelt sign is off. APU is established. Got to go to the overhead guys and turn on the APU. Well, they even plugged in external for me. It's either one of them, but can't just chop them like I used to on the 777. And chop them. That's all good. Come back to the overhead. Turn off the hydraulic pumps. All the way up. Turn off the emergency lights. That's off. Turn off the fuel pumps. Window heat, taxi lights all off, nav lights are, I'm going to leave that on actually, but we can turn off the strobes are already off. We can turn off the logos, and we'll turn the beacon off, and checklist. Normal, after landing, shutdown, all that's done. Normal, weather radar is off, secure. Emergency lights off. Okay, that actually wasn't done. So go to the overhead, turn off emergency lights. And we'll leave a APU running with the packs on. And I don't know. There's probably a few things I missed. But let's go ahead and get them deplaning. Try to complete our mission, right? Request deboarding.
Deboarding requested.
Let's do American Airlines. I don't know what they're doing here, but we'll do it. All right, guys. So that's it. Don't forget to subscribe if you wouldn't mind. Help a fella out and be part of my retirement project. I definitely want to welcome you to join our Discord and participate. We got young guys over there, old guys like me, guys who've been doing this flight simming for a long time, and not many guys are as inexperienced as I am with the flight sim. But from Paine Field, Freaky D, I'm going to put the Freaky D stuff down there. I'll put the Say Intentions site subscription, subsonic flight training, Captain Al, thanks for your help. All you guys, Bill Belichick's out. See you later, guys.
Passengers deboarding started.